services, but he's here tonight to speak on behalf of SME4Labour and Save People. So please see one round for the statue to Roger Morgan. And this is very much a grassroots initiative. This wasn't something that, those of us who were involved in politics really picked off. And all of us thought, and I've said it before, Roger probably wouldn't be very keen on the idea. But he absolutely is the sort of person who should be honoured with a statue. And he was somebody who had tremendous reach with people and was largely responsible, I think, for saving devolution in its early days when things were very, very difficult indeed. And just to tell you something briefly about Roger, he's the sort of person you could knock on any door in Wales and you get one or two reactions if you were Roger. They'd either say, "Oh, it's the First Minister, Mr. Morgan," or they'd say, "Oh, hello, Roger." There was never, everybody instantly recognised him. Never anybody, any politician, with that kind of reach. And people who knew him know also that he was very keen on sport. And we used to go for cricket together. And once, Morgan was doing very well, and they did a big campaign on BBC Wales with a song, and he went, "I love Morgan, Morgan, I love Morgan, Morgan, I love Morgan, Morgan." I remember with Roger at the cricket ground, and all the cricket fans started singing, "We love that Roger Morgan, we love that Roger Morgan." Now, let me tell you.
So good evening everyone, thank you for having me. I'm Adam Jacobs, I'm the founder of Bloom. I'm a proud supporter of SME4Labour, and I've known it for some time, and actually I think it's quite amazing the focus on small businesses is absolutely critical in the UK. Our entire purpose of Bloom is simple, it's to connect SMEs with the public sector, giving them fair access to the UK's largest marketplace and helping innovation reach the front line. SMEs are the backbone of our economy. They account for over 99% of businesses and employ millions across the UK. They are where the next big ideas come from and where the jobs of tomorrow will be created. Let's not forget, the SMEs and startups of today will be the unicorns and major employers of tomorrow. I think that's something that people don't actually really treat it, doesn't really contribute to the tech for this. So critical if you think about one or two unicorns that will be sitting here, 3 unicorns that will be in the UK somewhere, and think about the economic benefits across the entire United Kingdom.
In support of a very worthy and a very noble cause, which is to erect a statue in honour of Roger Morgan. He was many things. He was a teacher, he was a polymath, he was a gardener, I read, and a friend to many people here. It's wonderful to see you, Julie, this evening, and clearly a formidable politician. Now, some of you may recall he once was on Newsnight, and he was asked by Jeremy Paxman if he wanted to be the First Minister. And Roger replied, "Do one-legged ducks swim in a circle?" Did anyone watch that? Did anyone remember that? Well, this so discombobulated Paxman, and believe me, it's a rare feat to discombobulate Jeremy Paxman, that he was reduced to saying, "Is that Welsh for yes?" It was a wonderful moment. I recall someone who came across as not much for formality and pomp, and indeed his biography in the Welsh National Biography said he quote, disdained the stilted formalities and pretensions of college life in Oxford. Now, he was, of course, extremely eloquent, and it was no surprise when his maiden speech in the House of Commons in 1987 was awarded joint first place as the best. But above all, he was passionate about Wales. He was a passionate Democrat. He was passionate about the Labour Party and the Labour movement. And he instinctively understood who was in charge. Because when he was re-elected as First Minister in 2007, he said this: "I also say to all of you listening in the chamber and outside, that I feel very proud to be slipping on the captain's armband onto my shirt sleeve again today. That is why, in all humility, I ask for your assistance as we seek to do our duty here. I say to this assembly and to the people that I am not the boss. They, the people, are the boss. And I think that summed up for me what he was about.
Who here is lucky enough to be Welsh? Come on, get your hands up, who are? Honestly, lucky people. If I was Welsh, I'd never come to London. No, I'm just kidding. Unless I was a Welsh MP, which I have to come to London. But look, I really do, as Nia just said, like to think of myself as the most pro-Welsh English cabinet minister. Though saying that, I shouldn't really tell you all this, but Henry Ben's just told me it was his wedding anniversary here, and he's still come here tonight, so let's hope he's starting another wedding anniversary after this, but let's give Henry a round of applause, even though he's not here. That's pretty special. That's good for that. Friends, I just want to say a few things. Genuinely a privilege to be asked to go and say a few words here tonight. I think partly because of that love for Wales, but also I think being the cabinet member for business and trade, I think we might have liked that himself. We're reliably informed he actually began his career in the South Glamorgan Economic Development Team. Is that right, Mark? He did a pretty good job clearly on that. And then throughout his career, the cabinet member for the economy, and of course, First Minister. So there's three things to me that come to mind when I think of Rodri. And the first, as Kevin said at the beginning, is about devolution. And I don't think anyone can understate his contribution to that. I think many people might today maybe not appreciate just how this wasn't always as settled as it has been in the years since. And I do believe that this country is too centralised, the UK is too centralised, England is too centralised. Where we're getting to now in England with the mayors is a good advancement, but there should be, and never should be considered to be, any kind of tension between the kind of national industrial strategy which I'm very proud to put forward and local economic leadership, whether that's in the nations, whether that's in the mayoral areas, whether that's through areas we don't have mayors or any sort of devolution yet, because the two things should go hand in hand. And I think of Rodri not just in terms of securing that policy success, that constitutional success, I think of it in terms of how to get the balance right between real autonomy in an area and working partnership with colleagues across other parts of the UK as well. And I think it's not just about how you deliver the kind of policy environment that does that. I believe it's how you actually model how we should be as politicians ourselves. And I think, to be frank, there is sometimes a sense, because of the history of Westminster in particular, that you can almost become under pressure to be a kind of representative from the centre to other parts of the UK. That shouldn't be how it is. I don't think Manchester Labour, that I am very proud to be a part of Great Manchester Labour, should be the same as London Labour. I think the values should be the same. We should bring our distinctness, our identities to the central party itself, and that's where the strength should lie. So that's the first point. That, in its own regard, I think would be worthy of the kind of recognition we're supporting here tonight.
Few decades, and I think there's pictures of me alongside you both, because we go back a long time. Mark, special advisor, councillor, successor to Rodri Cardiff West. But just before I hand over to Mark, just to say, the reason why I'm late is because I was in the Senate of Welsh Parliament to say that the Welsh Government supported a members' bill on British Sign Language. And it was really great to be there, important to be there. The public galleries full of BSL signers, and this was unanimously supported by the whole Senate. It doesn't happen very often when every political party rolls in behind a really important piece of legislation. That's the power of politics. And just as I hand over to Mark, I always remember when Mark was the first minister during the terrible pandemic times, the very first thing that he did was say, be the BSL signer at our press conferences. Those press conferences became very important features of Welsh life every Friday morning, when people say, oh, we've got to get home and see, we've got, well, not home, they were home, we've got to turn the telly on to watch Mark Drakeford, but the BSL signed it there every single press conference. And that's a bit of an introduction to Mark Drakeford. All of us in this
Wel, yn gyfeillion, os bethau ni'n fawr iawn i chi gyd am olydiad y Jane am cyflwyniad caredig. Good evening to you all. Thank you very much indeed for the chance to be here. We are reaching the end of the journey that some of us embarked upon now, nearly 8 years ago. We are, as you have already heard, fulfilling Brennan's law, a law that says that the only people in Wales who should have statues erected to them are people who would have absolutely not wanted to have a statue of them erected. It's a very good principle, I think, and by the time we have gone not very many months further, we will have raised all the money that we need. And for many people in this room, that's been a long journey with many events.
that has